We have a go or no go for liftoff.
All right, we have a go. What do they say? Big G, little O?
You may not find us on your TV, because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
Thank you there, X4000, Stan Freeberg, Billy May, the orchestra. It is yet another Old Tube Radio Network where you, the Old Tube radio operators and the SWLs, join us here on 27085, Channel 11 in the Central Valley of California to let us know what's going on. Tell us what's happening and find out that the tubes are still alive and that CB radio is alive and well. And all those things that we've been doing for the last 36 years. How can we do this all the time? Because it's fun, and I guess we love it. My name is Dennis, Net Controller for the evening, the Old Tube Radio Network, where we are hopefully going to hear some radios. I'm hearing the echo thing, so we'll see. We'll just kind of go along with it and see what happens. The Old Tube Radio Network, shortwave listeners checking in. We are in the 8th week of our 8th week period, so let me see if Phil is out there. Hello, 00.
Well, good evening, Dennis and Annette. Yeah, I'd be here. 00 checking in.
All right, you are sounding good. A perfect 8 in a row. You might be in the running once again to do our 00 next week. So thanks for getting us started off for this last 8 weeks. Over to SWL number 1. Got a cosmic check-in for number 1. And SWL number 2, Mr. OBP, is over on the video chat side, checking things out and making sure all is well. Over to SWL number 3. SWL 4. SWL 5, SWL 6. Well, I won't run out of ink tonight if I'm not checking anybody in. SWL 7, I've got a proxy check-in for Mr. Ed, who said he may be in a little bit later. Going up to shortwave listener 10. And 10 and 30 are checking in. Hello, Chrissy. I hope things are going well up there in Idaho. Thanks for tuning in the, what do they say, Saturday night place to be here, the Old Tube Radio Network. SWL 13. SWL 14. SWL 16, Charlie is in. I do believe, I never checked to see who actually signs into the guest book, but, oh, in fact, you're standing behind the monitor. What's going on? No, you cannot. You cannot sing that because it is a copyrighted item. I don't think they'll allow the YouTube video. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Thank you. Thank you. Ah! Why did you do that? They lit the candle. All right. Yes, this is from, you want me to blow it? All right. All right. I made a wish. Let's put it up here. Let's put it somewhere where it won't fall over and make a big mess. That is my birthday item. I'll be driving down, what is it? Driving down Route 66 for the next 364 days. Thanks, guys. Let's see. Charlie's in. How about SWL 17? SWL18, Mikey from Facebook getting checked in. SWL19. That's Chet out there in Belfast. Did you guys get one too? Okay, I guess they've got cupcakes for everybody. So have a birthday cupcake when you come in to check in. Let's go to SWL20.
Number 20 here. Please check in 29 and 54. And I will have an item of interest tonight, this very radio. Thank you, Dennis.
Okay, I like it when you have items of interest because they're always interesting items, strangely enough, and sometimes they show up other places and get just as interesting. Everybody wave to the Google bots as Mountain View, California is checking us out from 94043 when we go live streaming to make sure that we aren't doing anything bad. That's it. See, I blew out the candle, so the fire marshal will not have to come in here. I don't think we're allowed to have things burning here in the control room. Over to SWL21, Mr. JT tonight, who is he might be taking a break. I want to see if we've got the replay of old radio night tonight. I'm not even sure what is going on there. Is that crazy, man? Mr. JT on Old Radio Night, and tonight he was on the Sonar FS23, and thank you, JT, for...
Hey, good to see you, man. Yeah, just no skip out here today.
Thank you, JT, for remembering that it was my birthday the other day. So yeah, I tried to forget, but sometimes people won't let you do that. Looking good on the Old Radio Night from the Wasama Swamps of South Carolina. I'll catch you in just a little bit. You are checked in. Okay, next we will go to SWL22. And it looks like the Echo link is up at node 354870 or Old Tube Radio Network. Let me see. I don't even know if I've got it turned on. It's over here. It's probably causing interference. Let me see if JT is up on the link here. KB6GFD, hello, KA3TEB, over. Let's see if the link is up tonight on the Echo link.
Welcome to the Old Tube Radio Network Echo link check-in center. All net controllers are currently assisting other SWLs, but your call is important to us. Please stand by and the first available net controller will be happy to assist you. Estimated wait time is currently 23 schedule minutes.
All right, well, I'll set my timer. At least they were improving from the other day when I actually had to wait for them to call back. So give us a shout if you can on the link at 354870, and maybe your wait time will be better. Checking in 23 Skidoo is probably somewhere in the Echo link void. Over to SWL24. And boy, the noise level just came way up. I gotta fix that. SWL25. I think my controls are going back. I got a proxy. I'm supposed to proxy in 25 tonight, which I will do. Over to SWL27.
27's checking in live from Studio G.
And sounding good. That radio always has very good audio here in the AM mode. And hopefully Studio G is up and running and doing good stuff.
Roger, roger. It's got the D104 on it, so it's got to sound good.
It sounds good. If it sounds good, it is good. Thanks, Dwayne, for checking in.
And it's cold to hold it out here too.
Yeah, it's starting to feel like winter. The old Tube Radio Network here. We were on page 2, direct net roll call, and Echo 148. I agree. I don't know where JT gets his giant channel display on that radio, but it's pretty cool. Now I don't know if he has to manually change that, or if it tracks the channel he's on, or if it just says 12, and he fools us and puts it on channel 12 so it looks great. And now I have no receive. SWL28, Gary is listening in from Sacramento. Hello, Gary. He's checking in one foggy day. Central Valley of California gets fog during the winter months if the dew point and the sun and all the things line up. And it's been doing that. So looks like you're getting it too. We're getting it here in the morning, more so in the outlying areas. So stay safe. And let's have a show that clears everything up. Well, hopefully there will be no fog. I might be in the fog, but I think our radio operators will be okay. Thanks, Gary. Over to SWL29, we have a proxy check-in for Bill. SWL30, Dwayne is in as well, probably sitting by and listening to the Browning, sitting there on the radio desk, waiting for a little bit of skip to arrive and come in. I'm going to make an adjustment here. I'm going to make an adjustment on my audio, and hopefully I will be able to. No, let's see, that's not working either. So I am up the proverbial creek, I think. So let's just do that to keep. Don't you like that? That kind of strange effect. Let's see what we can do. All right, anyway, I will continue on. Dwayne, you are looking good. Over to SWL31. SWL32. SWL33, myself, the honking proboscis of Bozo Control, and a host of others. That is going to drive me nuts, though. So, can I... I'm just seeing how this is done. How about that? How about if we raise... what was the Jerry Lewis movie about? Don't raise the bridge, lower the river. That's sort of what's happening around here, trying to get the audio to work. Over to SWL34. And Jimmy will probably be in a little bit later. SWL35. I haven't even been looking at my screen here. I will refresh the page and see if Mr. Bill has joined us. Over to SWL36. SWL37.
Most definitely SWL37 here, Destin. Good evening.
Hey, good evening to you. Ooh, you are very loud. I think I turned up the wrong control. Thank you, Chris. Got you checked in. And I skipped Jerry, who is actually, he said he's going to be away from the radio, but he will be listening in 36 tonight. Busy with work, but listening in the background. Thank you for the happy birthday wishes. And I am looking to see if I have the latest from Jerry's shack, what he's been working on. The Gemtronics GTX 5000. Ooh, let me see if I got a pictorial item of that. There it is. That is the GTX 5000 on channel 11. How does that happen? Looking pretty good. The one of the Panasonic chassis. That's what he's currently working on. A great radio. We have them check in. Haven't had one in a while, at least with that moniker on the front of it, but we might get one of the Panasonic 40 channels in. Keep up the good work, Jerry. When conditions are going strong, we might be able to hear some of these radios. Thanks. Over to 37 is in, SWL 38. SWL 39. SWL 40. Sometimes 40 will check in on the main page. If that happens, let's try SWL 41. It's Road Dog 507. Sometimes I have to scroll up to see who has stopped by that I might have missed. Hello to Echo 148. Echo 148, we are in the last 8-week roster, and there will be some SWL numbers coming up on sort of this finite list. So I think we'll be able to park you in somewhere. So stay tuned. Stay tuned to this station. Let's see, Dwayne saying, Happy Felix Unger Day. On November 13th, Felix Unger was asked to remove himself from his place of residence. That request came from his wife. Deep down, he knew she was right. I forgot about the odd couple. I can't remember any of the lines. I had to actually do an odd couple thing for some project where Oscar and Felix are fighting. And Oscar calls he calls the spaghetti linguine, and then Felix says, "You dummy, that's not spaghetti, it's linguine." And then Oscar takes the spaghetti and he throws it, or the linguine, whatever it is, and throws it against the wall. And then he says, "Now it's garbage." So there you go, Felix and Oscar. Let's go over to SWO 42.
Yeah, proxy in 42 in the game.
All right, will do. You know what, Dennis? Take another transmission. I have to readjust the incoming audio from the stations here. So say something for our audience.
And I'd gladly say something. Hello, radio 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And who do we appreciate? Midtown Dennis, of course.
Okay. Oops, that is good. I changed a control by mistake, and it turned everybody up. It turned everybody up but me. All right, thanks for checking in.
You betcha.
And now I can't hear anything. Receiver. Let's go to Crazy Eddie, SWL 43. Get a proxy check in for Eddie. Over to SWL 44. All right, let's put some smoke back in the receiver here. All right, Paul. I am doing my best not to fall off the chair here. SWL 45.
Yeah, Dennis. Hope this thing's sounding good. Yours sounding great. 45.
Hey, likewise. Got you checked in. Hope all is well up there with you and Kelly. Thanks for listening. And 23 Skidoo says the only odd couple is his LC matching network, and it doesn't throw spaghetti. Maybe that's what the problem is here. I'm throwing a little spaghetti here. I'm going to also make an adjustment on the fly on the SWR items here. Oop, don't want to do that. There's there we go, about 3 meters I have to look at to see. I guess, you know what, I guess I could just look straight ahead. The SWR, we're all looking at the SWR meter if you're watching the video. So if I turn that knob right there, whoa, that's not a good thing. So hello, let's try a little bit more. All right. Don't you love on the air tuning? 45 is in. Over to SWL 46. SWL 47.
Well, let's see here. The antenna switch is in the correct location. The radio is warm. The magic eye tube is moving, and the flux capacitor is fluxing. Well, I guess it's okay for me to say, greetings from the radio lounge. This is SWL 47.
And greetings from the Radio Lounge, where it's a balmy 62 degrees or something like that. You are sounding good. Thanks for checking in.
Thank you. It's really nice to be back in the air chair after a couple weeks.
And it's good to have you back. Sounding good. SWL 48. And it's checking in early in the mobile. SWL 49. Brian, if you're listening, I'll get you and Sweet Country Mama checked in. Over to SWL 50. SWL 51.
SWL 51 checking in.
Hey Dave, thanks for checking in. Yeah, I probably don't sound as good as I do on lower sideband when I'm on AM, but thanks for pulling me out of the mud.
No problem, bro. You can't even see across the street over here in Sanger. I don't know how it is over there at your end, but it's really fogged in over here.
Yeah, I think Chris was talking, it's one of those early fogs where the dew point, it never warms up, and as soon as the sun goes down, well, back here on the flora and fauna, the window cadaver may get lost. Maybe he'll bug somebody else tonight. He won't be able to find the QTH. Thanks for checking in. SWL 52. And SWL 41. If I didn't get you checked in, sorry. Road Dog 507. I think I skipped by you there in my twiddling of the knobs. SWL 41, 2 International Sideband 507 from Hudson Valley, New York, saying hello to everyone. And just to make sure we got it, let's go back up to the 41, click it, and it should say checked in right there. All right, thanks. Over to SWL 5353.
Good evening, Dennis. 53, Bel-Air the Legend, checking in.
The legend before his time, or maybe it's during his time. Anyway, the legend is in, and we get to turn the page. Thanks, Bob.
Thank you very much.
So that gives us Mr. Board Jammer on the Cosmic check-in. Let's go up the hill to SWL 55. And the guy that checked in as SWL 00 out there beaconing up to the satellites with APRS and right here to OTR. Thanks again, Phil. Over.
Well, my pleasure, Dennis. 56, checking in.
Another X in the square. We are going to Central Kentucky for Brown Dog Audio, SWL 57. Yeah, where is that? Where is that 54? Who was? I don't remember. Was it Tootie? Who were the characters on that? I remember the show, but I didn't watch it that much. 57 is in. Getting a check-in for SWL 58. Jeremy, I have inherited today. It is still out in the shop. A audio console. One of those big, you grab the knobs and turn them. It's got the big SWL meters. I just inherited one from Jeremy's collection. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I probably should just stick it in the back here for looks. Because I don't know if it doesn't look like it works, but it might. But anyway, thanks if you're watching Jeremy. I saw Ron today, and we got the audio board all ready to go. So if I can salvage it for something, that's what I will do. Over to SWL 59. SWL 60.
Thanks, Ron. Thanks, Dennis. I'm sorry about that. A couple of things here before I check in. Kenny from Oklahoma. I talked with him and Marsha today, and they send their regards to everyone. And Bulldogs did win today. I think 34 to 7 or something like that. So a good deal there. SWL 60 checking in.
60 sounding good, and I don't even know who the Bulldogs played, but it sounds like they did a little bit better this week.
Yeah, it was New Mexico.
All right, so apologies to all the New Mexico SWLs, but you know, when you're in the Central Valley, you got to say "Go Dogs," or as John Wallace used to have on his Corvette, his personal plate, "Go You Dogs." He was a big fan. Let's see, I wanted to make a comment. Oh, Brown Dog Audio. Posted some pics of the Alabama Hall on Facebook. More rig pics to come as we populate the new shop. He came up with a virtual ton of radio-related stuff. So hopefully there's some things in there that will make you happy and keep you on the air. Direct and roll call, the tube radios will be coming up. I hope. I know, they'll be here. We got a couple of interesting ones tonight. Let's go over to SWL 61.
61, check in, Dennis.
SWL 61, thank you, Dean. Copenhagen has checked in.
Thank you, sir.
Up to possibly chilly North Dakota for King Duckford. He is in the room somewhere. I will scroll down and get the Baltimore, North Dakota station logged in right there from the ice and snow. In the cold wind and snow, or rain and snow. Is that the Grateful Dead song? There's a lot of them. Out in the cold wind and snow, the ice and snow. X is in the square. Thank you, sir. I don't even know what was on the ham bands today. Probably heard North Dakota. That's all it is.
They also do the key up the SDR, and you get feedback, and you hear it twice, and you get the echo. They've done that one a lot, too.
Hey! 75 meters is alive and well. Sounds like they can do echo stuff there. Let's go to SWL 63. Was Butterbean on Old Radio Night tonight? I get him checked in. Over to SWL 64. Led Zeppelin. No, everybody did the cold rain and snow. Everybody did that song. Maybe ETC has a version of that. Who knows? Hello to GWD Labs. Sorry about the wacky audio. I'm getting some RF things going on. It gives me kind of that trucker mic echo without having to spend money on the microphone. Let's go over to SWL 65. And SWL 66. I know about that number at least for a little while now. Mr. Witch Doctor. Hello, radio. And Bill out there in Canby, Oregon. Thanks for the matches. I see you were the one that lit the candle on the cupcake. They won't let me have anything that makes fire around here. I have to write all my notes in crayon. So it's good to know that somebody can take care of me. Let's go over to SWL 68. SWL 69. Speaking of Kenny, SWL 69, if you're watching Kenny out there in Tulsa, we are checking you in right now. Hope all is going well out there. Autumn is setting in. The leaves are falling off the trees, and the hillsides are starting to turn brown, no doubt. Let's go over to SWL 70.
Hello, Dennis. 70 checking in.
All right, sounding good. I was just wondering. I don't know if you're on the same radio that you use sideband, but when you make an adjustment on the audio, it probably also adjusts whatever's happening on AM. But you sound good.
Well, thank you, sir. Negative. No, completely different setup.
Okay. Well, you sound like you always do, so that's a good thing. Thanks for checking in. over to SWL 71. Let me head over to the other workbench here and say hello to Miami, Florida, Kerman, California, Rock Bridge, Ohio, up in the balcony tonight, where Albert and the boys, Squamish, BC, is doing, oh, thanks. It looks like they're doing some birthday thing. Is that where the cupcake came from? I don't know. Barbecue and popcorn. And I had some popcorn this morning. They had popcorn out at Larry himself. Larry Lyon handed me a bag of popcorn at the gathering swap meet this morning. So I started my day with popcorn at 8 in the morning, and I'll probably finish my day with popcorn after the program tonight. And I was looking for Stan right there, checking in on the RCA 44 microphonium out of Dallas, Georgia. Thanks, Stan. I didn't hear. Did I hear any contesting today? If I did, it was minimal. What must not have been big stuff. I don't even think I heard any type of QSO parties. But, you know, what do I know? I have bad antennas, and I got a good receiver. The antennas aren't so good. Stan is in. How about SWL 72? SWL 73? Hey, I will get 73 checked in. John was at the event this morning. He was one of the, they had a fox hunt to, find the radio transmitter, and he was out with this super cool, he has a dual quad loop made for 2 meters, and he's got it fed vertically and horizontally. So as he's holding his HT and DFing the signal, he can hold that quad and rotate it 90 degrees and change polarity, and he's got it on a stick. It's real cool. John is probably, in our area, the ultimate radio direction finding guy. So he was giving us all how to do it today, this morning. Let's go over to SWL 74. Get a proxy check in for Miss Julie, SWL 75. Popcorn. They're talking about popcorn tacos. Is that what is going on up there? I like tacos and I like popcorn, but I'm not sure if the two together would work. We'll find out. Over to the Tower Power, SWL 77.
Well, good evening to all the listeners, and good to see the moisture moving in. I know we need it. And 77 on the Tower of Power, checking it.
All right, very good. Sounding good. Thanks for helping out with some of the pre-setup here today. As you can tell, I've ruined all of it without even trying. Everything sounded so good hours ago. Let's head down to Wild Wildemar, SWL 78. I'm not sure what stations we were hearing on 75 meters. Might be getting some short skip to hear Richard out there. I should probably listen on 7235 during the day, where I think he hangs out in the mornings. Over to SWL 79. SWL 80. Also want to say hello to Louisville, Kentucky, Woodland Park, Colorado. The beams are headed this way. Inez, Kentucky. The Shinston, West Virginia, as always. Moncks Corner, South Carolina, and the host of others here on the old Tube Radio Network. I think it is that time to check in with Bob and Steve, and I'm just looking to see, where's everybody? They're supposed to be at the microphonium to give us the big fanfare to go into the show. Hang on a second. Oh, they're all eating cupcakes. All right, yeah, they see me. They're ready.
27.085 OTR Channel 11.
Oh, whoopee indeed, the old Tube Radio Network. I'm trying to make it through. I hope we get a lot of radio check-ins tonight, and that way I won't have to be talking so much. Bob and Steve tonight, episode 89 for the 13th of November, 2021. The Jingle Singers having a beanbag tournament out by the pavilion. That's what they call it now. It used to be sort of a big pile of weeds, and now it is the pavilion, thanks to everyone, the Costco card, with the big screen playing the replay of the Fresno State New Mexico game, 34-7. That was a good thing. Kids' day at the game, and they added 4 fire pits out by the pool. So, yeah, see, now when you go out there with the fog, you got to have a little bit of heat. To go with it. Had a good turnout for the poker tournament. We used to play beanbag, and when in the Cub Scouts we had big beanbag tournaments. So I will have to see if I remember how to do my beanbagging. Had a good turnout for the poker tournament. The big turkey was won by Tom. Hey, how about that? And he gave it to the VFW, a good thing for our veterans who we honored just a few days ago and made enough to pay off the Costco card. Thank you. And the pool is paid off. Oh, all right. I was thinking it was only going to take 27 more years, so we did good on that. At the bar tonight, Wisconsin grilled bratwurst served with sauerkraut on a baguette. All right. Well, you know what? I'm gonna secretly steal the baguette, and the sauerkraut is going to be still on the plate. But if you like sauerkraut, this is the place to be, because everyone is welcome. And you know, if you can't get in, you say the secret password. It's not so secret. Don't forget to feed the fish. Thank you, Bob and Steve.
27.085 OTR, Channel 11.
Yeah, putting the O back in OTR. Page 4, top of which we get Steve Areno, Mr. Unicorn. And I'm going to get Steve checked in. I drove by, where was I? I drove by, almost right by his old QTH. Going to one of my workaday things today, and I looked down to Adeline, and I thought about Mr. Steve Areno. So hope all is well where you are, Steve. Let's go over to SWL 82.
82 checking in. Yeah, we made it back from foggy Hanford, no racing, and hey, thanks for doing the net last night. Appreciate it.
All right, it was my pleasure. What Ron is talking about, the net last night. It is the Ditch Banks sideband net. It is on your lower sideband of Channel 36. It happens on Friday at 8 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. It's a roll call situation. Everybody is welcome. If the conditions are in, give it a listen on Friday evenings at 8 p.m. 36 lower for the Ditch Banks sideband net. And before you go, so they actually would call the race? Is it just because you can't see around the track, or is it just they figure nobody can make it out there?
The drivers, those cars do over 100 miles an hour, and yeah, they can't see from one end to the other, so they decided that would be a big pileup, big accident. So the fans were there and the cars were there, and I walked in. They ran 2 races, and they said, that's it, too foggy, drivers can't see. So they gave us a refund, and either for another week here or next year.
All right, good deal and bad deal, I guess. So kind of a long trip out. And then you had to traverse through the fog. Was it when you came back? It sounds like it's pretty socked in out there right now, right?
Yeah, Hanford was the worst, but you know, once you get on the little 2-lane Highway 43 and make your way back to 99, it clears up once you leave Selma. So I've seen it a lot worse, but anyway, it was not bad. It made it home in the same amount of time as it takes with clear weather.
All right, good. And you're back to tell about it, so that's a good thing. We're actually getting fog. The last couple of years, the fog has been light, and now it's starting in November, sort of the way it used to, but we had that early rain, and that happens. That happens sometimes. Thanks for checking in. You're sounding good, and yep, the board of audio is safe and sound.
All right, good deal. And thanks again, Dennis.
The Old Tube Radio Network, Real Radio Glowing in the Dark. Page 4 is where we are at. The real radios are coming up shortly. And let's see. It looks like there's some other birthdays going on as well out on the frequency tonight. So I always wondered. There was always a lot of these November birthdays around 10th through the 15th. So if you back time, here's how you back date 9 months, and then you figure out that it was around Valentine's Day. Aha! A box of chocolates and some wine will do crazy things to people. Let's see if SWL 83 is around. Over to SWL 84. And I'm going to get Jerry checked in. Sounding good. He does the net on 40 meters occasionally on his old tube radio, believe it or not. I think it's on the Drakes. Sounding good, putting in a big signal. Let me illuminate the SWL 84 bingo, just like clockwork. The SWL 84 Messenger 223 is up and running. We'll also get SWL 86, SWL 87, and SWL 88. That's the Mountain Maid Tandy Girl and the Snowy Owl checked in. Over to SWL 89. SWL 90. SWL 91. And I saw the yellow Felix mobile yet again driving around Fresno here. The yellow Felix bug. So this is the other Felix, not Felix Unger. This Felix 91, he would know the difference between spaghetti, linguine, lasagna, and garbage for sure. And Felix, thank you for the birthday wishes. Where's the cupcake? Here's the birthday cupcakes. This is what they're handing out tonight all around. And I don't know if they all have the... They all have their maraschino cherries on it, but tastes like a cherry. All right. Sorry about that. Let's go over. Thanks, Felix. Over to SWL 92. SWL 93. All right, I'm a lightweight. I have to stick with carrots or something. SWL 95. Warthog 95. I'll have to scroll up. I thought I saw Warthog in there earlier. I'll have to see. Sometimes the internet connection's a little slow, and if I start going fast on the net, it takes a little doing to keep up with OTR. And there's the Whiskey Romeo 4 Bravo. Thank you from Orlando, Florida, because I saw you up in the balcony earlier. I knew you had to be around somewhere. And happy birthday, Neil. I think Neil's today. I was yesterday. Neil, you've got me by 1 year. You got me by 1 year, but you look marvelous. All right, let's go over to SWL 96. Hello, Dennis. I'll get Prune Picker checked in. He stopped by last night on the Ditch Banks sideband net and gave me a compliment on my audio. So that's worth a check-in right there. Over to SWL 97. Boston 97. And Tracy, I think Tracy was in earlier. SWL 98 on the video side. I got you checked in. Yeah, triple check-in. Working on a way to check in from home. Logistics. Sometimes it's not as easy as it seems, but it's worth a try. So we will be listening. There's a lot of stations out there that even if I can't hear you from my QTH, they'll pick you up and give you a relay. And there is 96 is checking in. Thank you. Also, let's go to SWL 99.
Good evening. Is this getting out?
That you are getting out over.
Okay. This is coming out of Sanger. I've had this rig down for a while, and I turned the antenna, and I think I tuned up the radio, and I think it's working.
It is working. Is this Tom?
Yeah, Tom. Tango Oscar Mike.
All right, good deal. I will get you checked in. You're coming right up, and if you were out last night, the ditch banks net, I don't remember, but we'll throw a check in on that one too.
Yeah, that one is that sideband radio is in a hard box somewhere. We used it up at Moonlight Madness, so I have not gotten that radio back out, but I will soon.
All right, very good. Thanks for stopping by the Saturday night place to be, SWL 113.
Okay, well, I guess the Robin 23 is working again.
Oh, if that's a Robin 23, it's working perfectly.
All right, cool. All right, hey, thanks for letting me check in.
Thanks for being out there. The old Tube Radio Network. We have Tube Radios coming up just shortly. Let's go over to... I'm seeing if Tony, sometimes he kicks in on the Echo link, which is up and running. I bet the wait time has decreased. When we get close to the 9 o'clock hour, that's everybody's gone to do something else. So give it a try at 354-870. That's the node for the Echo link. So I'm going to get to Tony proxied in McClellanville, South Carolina, is where Tony is at, SWL 100. Over to SWL 103, Jeff. SWL 109. SWL 110. SWL 111, that is, Robert, saw him this morning. He was looking good. Just kind of waiting for all the good stuff that has to go on. And he checked in before the net on the FM crossband and sounding good. So we got you checked in, Bob. Moments ago, you heard Tom Tango Oscar Mike checking in his 113 from Sanger. And I think I missed this station last night, but he might be up there now. SWL 114.
114, checking in.
114. Hello, Wayne. You're sounding good in Midtown Fresno tonight.
Thank you for the check-in.
Thanks for stopping by the old Tube Radio Network. I see Jimmy is in the house, keeping us safe and sane, as usual, out on our favorite place to be when we're not here is over on the old Tube CB Radio Network. So let's give a check-in to Mr. Fiedler and a little toot. All right, that is one fast train, and that whistle just throws the compressors into overtime. I'm going to have to move back like 20 feet when I do that. You are checked in, Jimmy. Thanks for stopping by. I need to put your number up on the screen. This is actually logged somewhere. There's a running log, so if you ever want to see who checked in, you go to some Google thing and it's in there. It says tonight, maybe tonight we could go insane. I thought that was last night. You mean I have to go insane again? Man, okay. Well, I could do that. We are looking for SWL 128. I want to get to the Tube radios here, and John is checking in tonight about an hour ago over on oldtuberadio.net from Fairfax, Virginia. And he has one of the popular electronics SWL calls that they handed out. I mean, this is long ago. Whiskey Papa Echo 91 Charlie Mike, if I said that correctly. Man, I would have I would love to have something like that. I guess I didn't know. I probably didn't know to look at popular electronics. I think that's what the PE is for. But anyway, John, thanks for tuning in tonight. Speaking of, John, and then the other John, SWL 131. SWL 133, Dave.
Good evening, Dennis. Check in 133.
All right, checking in 133. Thank you, Dave, out there in northwest Fresno. Taking us to a little bit less north and a little bit less west, but still northwest, I think, officially for Fresno, SWL 135.
If this thing's still working, SWL 135 checking in.
It is still working. I'm listening to you on the headphoniums now, and it sounds great. A little teaser. We'll be hearing more from that radio in just moments, so stay tuned. Thank you, Cliff.
Yeah, thank you. Like Harvey said, I guess this will be an item of interest.
One of the many, no doubt. We've got a proxy check-in for AJ137 heading over to, or up to, I should say, SWL 145. Hello, Tony. I think I heard you in earlier.
Well, good evening, Dennis, and belated birthday, and I'd like to thank all the veterans out there for your service. And I have some good things lined up for this week. If you get a chance, I'll be out there on Tuesday and Friday morning. Get a chance, you're up and about, tune in. Love to hear you.
All right, the early risers net, 2 meters. What is the over-the-air frequency on the repeater if you're here in the Central Valley?
147.180 with a PL of 146.2.
And then the call for the Echolink, and I'm going to get this wrong. Do you remember the Echolink call? I want to say it's an AG6 or something, but I'm wrong. So I'll defer to you.
That is the Alpha Fox 6 Mike Charlie -R.
Okay, AF6MC-R. So you've got Echolink. Look for AF6MC-R. That's the repeater link on Echolink. It would be 7 o'clock our Pacific time here. So if you're farther to the east, it'll be a little bit later. And tune in on Tuesday and Friday. And even if you don't check in, play along and see if you can. Tony always comes up with a radio. I'll call it a radio-related question, and see if he doesn't stump you with that. He does pretty good. And then even if he does, I always learn something when I get the answer. So thanks, Tony, for checking in.
You betcha, and thank you.
All right, the station that is having a birthday. Where is it? Having a birthday. Come on, Neil, come on down and get a cupcake. We got a cupcake with your name on it, 147 out of there in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Happy birthday to you. Heading back to Fresno, SWL 188, Snow Beast.
Good evening time, Dennis. Good evening time to all the SWLs. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. 188 Snow Beast checking in.
188 looking good on the S meter and sounding good through the headphoniums tonight. Thanks for checking in. Over to, let's go up to Coarse Gold. One of the few stations that can actually hear me in Coarse Gold. You must be in the right spot, Jim. SWL 195. All right, got you checked in. A little bit staticky on the microphone. Have to do a little push to talker size to keep that thing running. Got you checked in. And I don't know if Jeff, Mr. Shockwave, is out there tonight. It's kind of a foggy, yucky evening. He was out there last night helping us out on the Ditch Banks sideband net. Hello, 226. And I will get him checked in. And then anybody that I may have missed on the check-in roster, OTR is listening.
55, check in, please, Dennis. And 65, if you don't mind.
Hey, not at all. All right, thanks for being patient. 55 on page 3, of course. Eminem up in Shaver Lake, and Eric as well. Thanks.
Thank you.
And John saying, okay, thanks, John, saying the PE was for Popular Electronics. So, very good. All right, I'm going to configure things for the tube radios. I've got the tube radio list here somewhere, and it needs to be filled up with exciting glow-in-the-dark style radios. Our local collectors and operators are probably sneaking into their Radio Shacks right now to do a clandestine radio check-in on a Saturday evening. Or not. Maybe they're already there ready to go. And, hey, I see you there, Boston 97. Let me get you in before I run away to the tube stuff. Of course, anybody can check in any time. The old Tube Radio Network is not a club. What do we say? Not a club. There's no secret handshake. No dues. A voluntary association of people interested in old tube radios. Back in a moment with your glow-in-the-dark radios on the old Tube Radio Network. Thanks for listening. You are listening to the Old Tube Radio Network.
You may not find us on your TV, because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
Hey, I guess that's my cue to say something, right? The Old Tube Radio Network, real radio's glowing in the dark. It is time for the true stars of the show. And the Old Tube Radios and the Old Tube Radio operators to stop by and say hello, radio. And that is what they will be doing. I want to say hello, radio as well. Also, I want to get our sponsor tonight right off the bat here. Populate the Pocket Protector from Allen Radio and Electric, Bridgeport Laundromat. So there you go. You get your undies done and grab an antenna. Allen Radio and Electric, Bridgeport Laundromat. Phone 65. Phone 65. Where are you? I like this, Ben. I don't think I've seen this one before. Bridgeport, Nebraska, and they don't even give a. Well, they give phone 65. Is that one of those operators where they do the crank and you talk to Betty, and she lines you up with whoever you're calling, and maybe you get to talk to Lassie. Let me see. Where's the close-up camera? Wow, that's interesting. Where is it? Right there. Allen Radio and Electric in Bridgeport. So that's the deal. That's the real deal here. Let me put it in the pocket protector tonight. And let's see. And I did get cornbread in the not checking in. A lot of you don't check in, and so we do have a I didn't check in list, and sometimes that is pages and pages long. So as usual, I will say thanks for not checking in. However, if you've got a tube radio, now is the time. OTR is listening.
135, 135.
All right, I heard 135, and was that a 45 in there? 45 over?
45.
All right, let's start with 2. Paul, you'll be radio number 2, but jump over to the green room, have a cupcake, and some of the great items that Bob and Steve are serving up outdoors, and we will be right with you. At, 9:02 Pacific Standard Time, stepping up into the air chair, Mr. Green Arrow Cliff. And did I mention, I bet I did, that you do not have to have any special numbers or SWL this or that, or have even been on the old Tube Radio Network before to stop by, if you have, a glow-in-the-dark radio and say, break OTR, and tell us about it. We wanted to put you on the list. That's what we're here to do, is to, like they do with the old car shows, drive your radio around the block on a Saturday evening, turn the radio on, make sure the heater works, kick the tires, and let us hear what it sounds like. Hello, Cliff.
Hello, Dennis.
All right, you are sounding good, and hopefully I will have a picture of whatever it is that you are bringing us in my radio Rolodex. Over to you.
I hope so, because I don't have a picture of this up yet. Anyway, let's see. This is from Dynascan Corporation in Chicago, Illinois, made in the good old US of A. The B&K Mark. Again, I'm not sure how all this works. Cobra Cam 88. Say made in Chicago, Illinois, I think. In the good old US of A. So it says on the front of the radio. 10 tubes. All 23 channels, crystal controlled, transmit and receive, with a red glowing channel 9 indicator, which is pretty cool. And the microphone here is a standard, you've seen one, you've seen them all, gray bass amplified D104. Back to you.
Back to me in the studio. Boy, that has... I'm now listening in on the headphoniums. Cliff was testing a little bit earlier, checking that radio out, and I was listening through my little small speaker directly out of the radio, firing up into the shelf, and I told him, yeah, it sounds good. But it sounds even more, what's the word, mellifluous, listening to the headphoniums here through all the stuff. Cobra Cam 88, Cobra, Citizens Band Receiver, B&K, Dynascan. I've got 2 photos here, and there is a difference between the 2 rigs, which we'll talk about in a moment. But I want to go back to you. We can't see the channel selector to know if you're on the red channel 9, but somebody used to describe this radio as the wheels on the bus, like a school bus or something. But man, does it sound good? And this is the same radio. I'm going to have to go back to last week's program and listen to Harvey trying, yea, verily trying to get this radio to fire up. And here it is a week later, sounding top shelf over.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? I can hardly believe it myself. Cold and wet out here. Okay, anyway, let's see. Yeah, it's hard to believe it's the same radio, isn't it? I remember hardly being able to hear it. There we go. That's better. Don't loosen that microphone just yet. That made a difference, didn't it?
You know, that made a big difference, and you will hear it on the replay. What you will hear is a decrease in your modulation percentage, and not only that, I didn't have the S meter up to see if there was a signal difference. I don't think there was, but a very strange, what sounded like a carrier. That made me look at the meter. I said, is someone transmitting at the same time as you? So maybe it was sending I'm thinking it might have been sending some really super low frequency into the audio that was ducking down your normal audio and making it sound like a carrier. It was just really bizarre. I'm going to have to go listen to that. But it is better now. Over.
Okay. Yeah, it seems to be behaving now. Do you want to know what I did? Let me tell you what just happened. I was loosening the microphone ring, you know, the thing you screw on the outside of the 4-pin Amphenol plug-in jack. I was preparing to switch microphones because I still want to do that, and I just learned something by doing that. Evidently, you got to keep that ring on there good and tight, or it messes up. Because all I did is reached over and tightened it again, and my modulation light got brighter, and everything looked, looking at my meter, everything seems to be back to normal, but I loosened it up, and it didn't like that.
Interesting. It's a grounding thing. I wonder if you had a microphonium that was wired weird, or had a disconnected thing that would cause that. And I can't remember what some of the issues that Harvey was having last week with that. But boy, does it have some nice... It's good full fidelity. It's punchy, but man, it has lows and highs, and it's got, what do they say, all the right stuff. Showing the picture, let me talk about that. I've got two flavors of the Cobra 88, the Cam 88. One of them has a modulation light in between the speaker and the meter, and the other one has the modulation light in between the speaker and the meter with the addition of a switch that doesn't say anything, at least in my picture, says off at the bottom. So I'm wondering, which version do you have, switch or no switch?
Yeah, that's why I want to get a picture of this one up here. Mine's in a bit better physical condition. That switch I do have, and that is the Dynaboost switch. And up above that switch, it should say Dyna-Boost, and below it, it says off. I'm going to demonstrate that now. Okay, this is with the Dynaboost off. I'm at the same distance, talking at the same volume. 1, 2, 3, a boom, boom, boom. Suffering savage sibilance. She sells seashells by Susie and the seashores. And then the Dynaboost, which I think has something to do with dynamite in the radio giving you a boost. I'm not sure. But that is back in. And I also wanted to check out another mic just for posterity.
All right, we'll do a little mic testing. I put up the Orban loudness meter, and a big difference in the perceived, not only perceived, but actual loudness. The quality is fine. It sounds like you maybe step away from the microphone a little bit, but it adds some good bass notes and things like that. So go ahead with the microphonium change. The one you have, I don't see how it would get any better than what you have with the one now, but we will be listening and waiting, and maybe you are ready right now.
Just about. Oh, wait. I wanted to do it without the Dynaboost first, but, what the heck, we'll give it a shot. Oh, yeah, that was the Gray Bass D104. This is the Turner Plus 3B desktop type microphone. With the Dynaboost is on. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Suffering savage sibilance. Boom, 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 boom. Dynaboost is now off. 1, 2, 3. Boom, boom, boom. Suffering savage sibilance. 1, 2, 3, 4. How did that all go?
All right, I hear you both times. This plus 3 doesn't have as much gain going into the radio, and I'm assuming that you can adjust that. When you turn the Dynaboost off, you are probably 20 to 25% modulated. What the plus 3 also doesn't have, it's a much mellower sound. You probably need to increase the gain on it, but it doesn't have, as Mr. Heil would say, that high-mid articulation, just to sort of in your face audio. So obviously, I would think most people would probably prefer the louder, crisper D104 over. And unless you want to try, if it's a plus 3 and you can adjust the audio gain on the mic, you might try that.
Not too late. I put the D104 back on there. I just wanted to see what the audio quality was like, one versus the other. And now I'll be able to go back and listen to that. That will be cool. Looks like I'm right just about smack dab on frequency. This thing, I've had this on since about 2:30 this afternoon. And it hasn't drifted. It's amazing. 084 flipping to 0849 flipping to 085. I mean, it's just, I think this may be the most right-on frequency radio I've got. And, you want me to back off the mic? There, I backed off the mic. I'm about 1.5 feet away now. And keep in mind, I am out here in the fog. It's actually foggy. I don't remember actually doing this in actual fog before. There are hooty owls out here. And it is cold and wet and foggy. Back to you.
This is the cold, wet, foggy frequency. A reminder that radio number 2 coming up with Paul in just a minute. Yeah, let's see. What was the question I was going to answer? Oh, one of our listeners, 23 Skidoo, and making a good point here, and something to consider, and I don't think the +3 has an impedance switch on it anywhere, but they're saying that the +3 is a low Z microphone, and the impedance mismatch between that and the D104 could be killing the input level, or is killing the input level, and it's probably, if it is an impedance mismatch, is part of what's rolling off the high frequency as well. But boy, you cannot go wrong with the D104 on that radio like you're doing.
Yeah, that seems to be the popular consensus there. So I'll probably keep a D104 on here. It seems to be the way to go. I'm glad it's working. It's a very nice looking radio, and yeah, go back on those archives from last week. I think you'll be shocked at how much Harvey improved the sound of this radio. I remember hearing it and thinking, oh no, that thing is a mess. Yeah, it seems to be working a whole lot better now.
It is working great. That would be a daily driver, as we say. You know, back in the day when everybody was on every day all the time, and you could fool them. You could fool everyone when you told them how old that radio was and that it was glowing in the dark. Maybe not. Maybe you wouldn't fool everyone, because we here at the Old Tube Radio Network know that the tube radios do sound good. When I went to sideband to do the 0 beat, you were indeed at 27084.9-ish, 8-ish, and man, good audio. When I switch to sideband and your sidebands are super full, and the level of the audio does not drop, that's usually a good indication that you are 100% plus with some asymmetrical stuff going on. Radio number 1, the Cobra Cam 88. We heard it last week, I think at the end of the program when Harvey was doing some testing. Harvey did a little peek and tweak and whatever he does, and it is on the radio table for Cliff. Sounding good. You hear it now. It even looks good on the meter. It's got some good forward movement. Certainly not being overdriven on the unmodulated carrier. So the audio is good. Back to you for transmission, and I hope that will be a player, because we got a couple of other Cobra Cam 88s that can check in. So might have a Cam 88 night. Back to you.
Oh, that would be cool. I'd love to hear some more of these guys. Oh, yes, before I forget, because I keep forgetting, B and K, what does the B and K stand for? It says B and K/Mark. I'm not sure what that's all about. I know Dynascan Corporation. I seem to remember B and K making some meters. Like, didn't B and K make a bunch of meters and test equipment? But I don't remember what B and K stands for, or what this, if anything, had to do with the Cobra manufacturer of Cobra radios. Do you know any of that stuff? Back to you.
I don't know. We'll have to see if any one of our listeners out there has some information. Do a little searching for Dynascan, B&K, BK Technologies. I don't think that's the same thing. So we'll find out. Maybe that's maybe that's the two little old grannies that put the company together.
Barbie and Catherine, Mark, I guess would be their last name, and they created some great CB radios. They made a bunch of these, as I understand. I think they made them from, 63, 64, all the way through 67. And then they made the 89, but I think they only made those for about a year, so those are kind of rare if you can find them. But this one's mine, and I like it just fine. It looks good, and hopefully it sounded good. The receive is great. It's got a nice, a 3x5-inch speaker right in the middle, and the receive is really nice. Oh, another note, that Dynaboost, it also affects the receive. When I switched, the Dynaboost off, you lost a little bit of audio. And when I pop it back out, you can even hear the background noise comes up and down with it. So I'm not sure how they're tied together, but it is an interesting side note. With that, we'll let it go. Thank you for indulging me and let me check in a new one, at least a new one for me. And we'll catch you next time. See ya.
Yeah, SWL-37 and that radio sounds good.
It does. 37. Hi, Chris. You will be radio number 3. The comment, hang on. And I would just, Paul, are you still with us? I just want to make sure you're listening out there.
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right. Hang on. We got a new radio here. We're checking some stuff out. You will be next. So thanks for being patient. Don't go away, Cliff. Don't go away, Chris. And the comment, I think that was Harvey. Go ahead. All right, yeah, 1948, Chicago, Illinois. It says Chicago and Yorba Linda. B&K Precision helped pioneer the electronic testing industry, and like so many early electronics firms, B&K started in a garage. By 1948, when the Americans had begun buying televisions in large numbers, Chicago entrepreneur Carl Korn, can you believe that? Carl Korn, you can't make this stuff up, folks, and his partner Philip Bahn, B-A-N. So it's Bahn and Korn, in the morning, responded to the need for maintenance of often unreliable sets, frustrated by a lack of equipment to easily test television components. Bahn and Korn began making their own devices and opened a central television service company. They soon had a thriving business selling CRT rejuvenators. I remember those. You had to find the tube, rejuvenate your little CRT with the voltage, and vacuum tube testers to other television service shops. By 1951, Korn had developed what would become B&K Precision into a company that had branched out into other areas of electronics, testing, and measurement. B&K engineers broke new ground, earning several patents in the field of television test equipment and rapidly pushing the company to become a worldwide leader in electronic measurements. In 1961, Carl Korn placed B&K Precision under an umbrella corporation, Dynascan, comprising a variety of electronic firms. One of those companies, Cobra Electronics, came to dominate the Citizens Band radio phenomenon. Choosing to focus on radios, Korn sold B&K Precision. Through an ensuing series of ownership transitions, B&K continued to produce high-quality testing and measurement products. Over. Okay, and Harvey, you are extremely weak, but I'm sure you have some of their precision equipment and tube testers which help keep things on the air. Back to you, Cliff, for any comment, and then we'll pick up Radio 2.
Well, go ahead, Harvey. No, I'm all done. Thanks for letting me check this in, and we'll see you next time.
I'm kind of done too.
All right, this is the kind of done frequency. The toothpick test for doneness does not work. Paul, thank you so much for being patient as we discovered about Corn and Bon, or was it Carl and Philip, the B&K dudes, Philip and Carl. That's it. Philip and Carl. Hello, Paul.
Okay, I'm going to change the subject quite a bit from a fancy cool radio to a helicopter CB-17.
Whoa! All right, let me dig into the archives. I'm used to my Helicopters CB-11A walkie-talkies, my very first radio. My Helicopters SX-25, the CB-3A we have, and you're saying this is a CB-17 over?
CB-17.
All right, CB-17. I do have an item of interest. This must be later down the road, maybe late 60s for this. You never know. When Helicopters was possibly part of the Northrop Aircraft Corporation, which is where I got most of my stuff because my dad worked at Northrop Aircraft when Helicopters was a subsidiary. Take a transmission. We can hear you, Paul.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. Very plain radio. Hey, what? That's a manufactured. I don't know when the date was on the thing. The 60s, already, I'm sure. I got a manufactured date of roughly 1965. I think it's older than that. I haven't got any information I'd appreciate it. The 17 and the 7 were just about the same. And they're almost manufactured about the same years, too, I understand. Interesting. Anyway, it's got 6 channels on the thing. 6 crystal control transmit receive channels on it. And it's got 7 tubes on it, not many tubes on it. And no inch meter. How many lights it has on it, and the dial lights up the A, B, C, D for this crystal. And then it's got a modulation light on the thing, which glows louder I talk. That's it. But it does have a front part speaker on it, though. So they're ahead of that one. But anyway, it's a neat old radio, and I just got it working real good on it. Sounds like the transmit according to everything up to is doing well. Back to you.
It is doing well. The Helicopters CB-17 from 1965. So this is out after the CB-3A, which was 1962 to 63. It's also 7 tubes. So my guess is this is probably a very similar schematic interior to the CB-3A. It's got the cool little, I'm so used to that red dot lowercase Helicopters logo on some of my equipment. And I notice it also has the installation cutouts, the rectangular punch-outs on the front of the unit, possibly for the S meter and the receive VFO, which are not in the picture of the one I'm looking at here. 7 tubes, 1965, will go 12-volt DC and 115-volt AC, and it looks like the microphone, and I don't know if yours is like this or not, but the microphone is hardwired into the front of the case over.
Put me in the green room. Ceramic, the extra voice, soft microphone, nothing fancy with it at all. And it's wired directly in there, so you don't do much changing on it. No, it's just a neat old radio. They got lockdown latches on the thing. All you do is flip the 2 latches and raise it back, and there's everything there. The crystals, everything into it right there. Matter of fact, I got mine open out so it makes it my teeth, and it helps move out that little bitterness. So I got everything. Back to you.
All right, good deal. Not a big signal, and the audio is okay. It's certainly not 100% modulation, but I'm hearing you just fine on a Helicopter CB17. We haven't checked. If we've checked one of those in, it has been quite some time. So thanks for bringing it by. It looks like 6 channels, no waiting. Yeah, 6 channels. The IF is 1650 kilohertz. That could be interesting if you were somewhere near a broadcast AM station. Thanks for the helicopters, Paul. Over.
Okay. Next one, I won't guarantee I can get it going. We'll see what happens when I turn it on. Hopefully talk to you soon.
All right. Yeah, I put the S meter up, so if you're watching the playback, you can see you're not quite making my RF cutoff, but your audio is coming through. So it's working, and that's with all the stock stuff. We've added SWL20. We've added Harvey as radio number 4. Radio number 2, as you just heard, the Helicopter CB17. And at 9:27 OTR time, Chris is stepping up to the microphone. Hello, radio.
Hello, Dennis. SWL37 here. We would like to check in my general radio telephone, the Super MC11A 24 channel, and we are running this here with the handheld stock microphone. Over.
Sounding good as always. Did you heard the Cobra Cam 88 that is trying to knock on the door, trying to give you some competition on the beefy audio sound, but it's going to be hard to beat that general radio telephone back to you for a transmission.
You talking about the one that Cliff just checked in, number 1?
Yes.
That puppy sounds good.
I agree. Like I said, he's trying to run after that general radio telephone, and you're just running the stock microphone.
Yes, sir. It's all stock. It's a stock microphone. But yeah, no, boy, if mine sounds that good or better, I'm flabbergasted.
Well, it definitely sounds good. This is all 23 channels on this radio, the S meter. I should say it's 24 channels. It's got a spot, and I think you told us if you rotate the dial to one of the ends, it'll go to a Civil Air Patrol area. That you get in on the 26 point something to get on the Civil Air Patrol. But in the meantime, keeping it on channel 11 is a good thing. Take another transmission. Thanks for bringing it by.
Okay, well, I've got a question for either you or Harvey. All right, on the S meter up here, all right, on the top, you show your signal strength that people are hitting you with. Underneath that there's 2 rows of number. One of them starts off at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The upper row starts off with a 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Now, I don't know if I'm seeing if this is right or not, but I'm thinking the upper one is when you plug that tube in the back. Am I right, Harvey? And it gives you a different reading?
Yes, sir. Some people are using that, but it's not accurate. The bottom one is for normal, quote, 5 watts.
Yes, that's the one I always use. I never really paid that much attention to that upper one right there. So, I answered my own darn question. Thank you, Harvey. And Dennis, that's it for this radio tonight on this one.
All right, you figured it out. That does have the let you kind of strap into a business band, and maybe if you were on a Civil Air Patrol, you were able to go into business band output, and so they did that. But they probably could have just had the numbers times 2, which is basically what they did. General radio telephone, super, not to be confused with those non-super radios. The Super MC11A, always sounding good on the old tube radio network. Thanks for bringing it by.
And thank you, Dennis, for being there. I'm going to be out and probably listening, watching the movie at the same time. But thank you for being there, Dennis and Harvey. Thank you, and I'll talk to you soon again, hopefully.
All right, speaking of Harvey, at 9:31 OTR time, I'm running the red pen tonight. It looks pretty good. It looks fancy on the paper here. Let's find out what Harvey has for radio number 4, over. Yeah, that was your cue, Harvey. Over.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've got the modulator on. Is it too much of a hum, or is it okay?
It is okay.
Okay. The transmitter has an intermittent connection in the output, dropping things down to about half a watt. I haven't figured that part out yet, but most of the time it's fine. Does about 5.5 to about 14. We'll call this a Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSB, and for some of those that heard how I got this radio, we'll call it the off-the-shelf radio. I got it off the shelf, along with the Cobra Cam 88 that Cliff now has, and a Helicrafter CB3 or 3A, which I haven't gotten to yet. They're from the collection of, I think his number is 133, Dave. He was thinning out the herd, gave me a phone call, I picked him up, and he said unfortunately this one, the transmitter fell off the shelf onto the counter, and the receiver fell off the shelf onto the floor. So I've had to do a little bit of metal reworking, and so far so good.
All right. Even when you say that, I just cringe in my OTR net control chair as I picture the horribleness of what you just described. The Browning Golden Eagle Mark III. Boy, it's sounding good. And Dwayne, SWL30, you know Dwayne, mentions, and I agree that this is the cleanest you've sounded with very minimal hum on the Harvey Range Boost. So the hum is there, but it's very minimal. The audio is good. There's no fuzziness or pumping or anything like that. So the combination of whatever you're doing with everything on the table that is not falling down on the floor is very happy. Over.
Yeah, I have to get to that little connection. I can't do.
Oh, you can't get it that way.
Yeah, hasn't ever dropped out before like that. I'll get to it eventually. But anyway, once I figure it out.
So I don't know if it's a connection or a cable there. All right, I'm going to take a transmission because I'm assuming that you, when something cuts out, you might be able to hear me, assuming you have stopped transmitting, which I hope you do, because I'm thinking that transmitting whenever that thing goes wrong is not a good thing. All right, we were listening to, and probably will be listening to, Radio 4, the Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSB, and this is not. This is a new radio for Harvey's area. His off his shelf, literally off the shelf, but sounding good, nice and loud, good stuff. Harvey, if you're there, take a transmission to let us know that your cable is good. All right, well, I know you will. The Jingle Singers are saying they would like to do what they do best. They're all holding their cupcakes up in honor of all the birthday people. You are listening to the Old Tube Radio Network.
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? Greetings to you, wherever you are. For music and the latest news from home and from afar, the station for you is
OTR, Old Tube Radio.
The station for you is
OTR.
And we are standing by listening for radio number 5 and a hello radio from Harvey, OTR.
Oh, boy. Anyway, yeah, I'll figure this thing out eventually because it's almost there, but not quite. But I wanted to have the modulator on so Dave could hear me because I appreciate the fact that he gave me a call and I was able to, hopefully, I got the cam going. Hopefully it stays going in this. Thank you, Dennis.
All right, thank you, Harvey, and thank you, Dave. But as we saw earlier, the cam sounding really nice. It's perfectly suited to Cliff's voice, and you're already getting good comments on that radio, and so the radio is okay. It's the interface with the other items. It sounded like you were getting a little bit of RF coming through as well, so you might check the grounding things. But when it's working, when they're both working, handshaking together, it is quite an awesome sound, as you will hear if you run the playback here on the Old Tube Radio Network. We're standing by for radio number 5, or any and all check-ins, I guess I should say. And if you're listening, Harvey, which you might be if you're not switching coax, Dwayne mentions that when he got his Browning, similar to that, there was a sideband switch. The sideband switch was taking a dive on the transmitter, so check to make sure there's no bad connections or something on that. But again, when it's working, I think it might be just your interface. When it's working, it really sounds good. I want to say hello to Ralph, Crash 350, checking in from Newcastle, Pennsylvania, the Old Tube Radio Network. We do this every Saturday evening here on Channel 11 in the Central Valley of California, where we listen for, talk about, and participate in everything, all things Old Tube Radio. Kind of put the flavor of what it was like back when these radios were brand new on your Citizen Band radio, the way the station sounded, the way people talked, and everybody having a good time. So thanks for joining us.
Well, this one might do a little better. The Golden Beagle. Okay. Yeah, sideband's a problem with the Mark III. I can't seem to get the sideband transmit seems to work and is on frequency, but sideband receive doesn't seem to be working right at all. So I'll have to figure that one out. Also, if I can. If not, well, then it goes to a new home. Whoops. Goes to a new home for a little less money.
There you go. All right, the Beagle is sounding okay. Believe it or not, the prior radio sounds better. It is cleaner. There's no squeal, and there's no hum. The other one just sounding totally awesome. This one is being dogged a bit by the range boost, but the other one seems to interface with it better when it's working, and it looks good.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. Okay. The Golden Beagle R68T68 by Browning Laboratories. Okay, I got it checked into. Bye.
Over. The Old Tube Radio Network, listening for any and all radio check-ins. And there is a station down in my noise a little bit, so bear with me and I will be listening for you. This is OTR. Yeah, who is the station breaking for OTR? Did anyone get the audio on that? I hear the station in there. right, let me increase my RF gain a little bit. The station, I think I heard 35 or something. That station. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm just not quite able to pull you out, but I do hear you. Yeah, I can tell you're in there. The audio is not bad. It's just, unfortunately, it's down in my noise. And the Old Tube Radio Network is listening for radio number 6. A little more fire and a bigger wire, perhaps, Dwayne. Echo Link is still up at Old Tube Radio, the Old Tube Radio Network, 354870 if you need to check in that way. Band conditions are the way they typically are on a very foggy Central California evening, and we are listening for radio number 6 on OTR.
Did you zero beat me on this one?
That's the newer Mark III. I can do that to take a transmission.
Yeah, as long as it stays transmitting. I've got it keyed up. Hello. It should be, I hope, very, very close. Maybe a hair below. But let me know.
Yeah, I agree that I'm putting it in, and it's really nice audio. So when I go to sideband, you've got good sound. I'm going to give it 270848.
Okay, zero beat me again. Do. I'll see if that made it closer.
Okay, what I'm doing is when I zero beat you, it's hard to tell. So, so that we can all hear it, I'm purposely tuning it off a little bit. I'm going to go 10. I'm going to go 100 below. So I'm going to go to 84.9, and I hear just a little bit of a heterodyne. So I'm going to listen for you again. So you're making an adjustment. We'll see where it is. So you may have come up a little bit, but you are still a little bit low over.
Okay. Let me look. Trying to, with all this stuff up on the bench, trying to see the freight counter.
Wrong way.
With the modulator on, it shows 49. The modulator off, it shows 50. I'll be happy with it this way.
Yeah, you should be. It's minimal. I mean, I listen to sideband. Most people will talk to a station that far frequency on sideband, even though you sound even more like Donald Duck. And you could hear it if you listen to the replay. You'll hear the oscillator trying to move, but it moves the wrong way, and then it goes back. So it's almost like it's hit the threshold at wherever you're at like 84, 8.5, or 9. So it did move, but it didn't move the way you wanted it to.
Well, the crystal tests at 083, so I had to kind of play with this thing. as close to a whole 85 as possible. Excuse me. I have to order a switch for the receiver, manual Crystal 1, Crystal 2. It's ceramic, and it broke when it fell off the shelf. And I was able to hold it together and glue it in the manual position. I can actually switch it, but whoever goes to position, Crystal 1, Crystal 2, hardly anybody would have those crystals. I have to actually ask Marquette what frequencies they are to get certain channels. Anyway, so if worst comes to worst, if even though his site says he has these switches for $29.99 or $95, if he's out, I may end up just wiring it solid. So if the switch breaks, nothing else happens. I mean, it'll stay on manual. And then order a channel 11 crystal along with, I think, a 4, a 12, and a 13. Or, 12 and 13. 12 is channel 26, so the 12 crystal's not even there. 13 is 092.2 instead of 115. So in channel 3 or 4, whichever one it is way off. But all the other ones are really close. So I just have to get a crystal. Then I can get everything lined up on transmit. But I still have to figure out that intermittent transmit power output problem. Although it's been working this whole time. Wouldn't you know? A few more things I have to do. Speaker grill fell off. I got to glue it back. He put in a different speaker because apparently the original was bad. I have a replacement, so I got to do all that. But eventually I'll get to it and put it on the air again, and then it'll be in somebody else's house, I hope.
Well, good deal. We want to spread the joy, spread the wealth around for the tube radio so they can check in and get driven around the block at least once a week. Ralph, Crash 350, I agree, says he loves the old tube radios. And he's got the Mark III, the 1965 Demco satellite, a Super Satellite 2 prototype. We have a few prototypes that check in here of other things, but prototypes are always cool. And the Cobra Cam 88, as you heard tonight, that Cobra is a really good player. If it's tuned up correctly and the capacitors are good, the Cobra Cam 88 is a great. If you want to do the hi-fi audio, I'm starting to recommend that just from what I'm hearing. Also, Chrissy, I see you over on the Echolink link. So if you want to try a transmission, we'll give it a try. So gather whatever you need, because I know there's the delay in the echo, but I'll give you a call on Echolink and maybe we can check in with Chrissy up in Idaho. The old Tube Radio Network, real radio is glowing in the dark. The flavor, the sound of your CB radio back in the day, 1962, 1974, the way it was here in the 21st century, thanks to our tube radio operators. I'll stand by. In fact, let me go. Jingle Singers want to do something, and maybe we'll get Chrissy in on the Echolink link and see what's going on up there. You are listening to the old Tube Radio Network.
How do you do? Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you, wherever you are. The friendliest station for you by far is known to all as
OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network.
The station for you is
OTR.
KB6 GFD, if you're around, Chrissy, give it a try on Echolink, KF7FTI, KB6 GFD.
Hello, Dennis. I just checked the temperature. It's 39 degrees up here. It's raining. We got a little bit of snow the other day, but it didn't stick around. Over.
All right, 39 degrees, raining, a little bit of snow. Sounds like the Canaries are happy. It is November in Idaho. I'm not sure what your elevation is up there, but perhaps it will be a white Christmas. Good to hear your voice. Thanks for joining us each week on the Old Tube Radio Network. We appreciate the recipes. It adds a different flavor, no pun intended, to the Old Tube Radio Network, and glad to have you along. Thanks for joining us here tonight.
You're very welcome. It's my joy to be on Old Tube Radio Network, and I like giving out recipes, especially when it's cold. But some of the summer recipes are really good. In fact, tonight I came across a homemade mac and cheese recipe that I tried, and it came out really good. And so I think I'll probably share that maybe next week. Over.
Hi, Chrissy! No, hi to Dwayne.
All right, Chris, you got a hi from Harvey, and I think you got a hi from Harvey, and I think mac and cheese probably goes any time of the year, any time of day. It's one of those, once you get it made up and you've got it ready to go, it's a good, you've only got a few minutes to eat something, and what am I going to pick? The mac and cheese is good. All right, thanks for jumping in on the Echo Link. You're sounding good. Your radio fans are all saying hello. Thanks for joining us on Echo Link tonight on the Old Tube Radio Network, 73 KB6 GFD.
Anytime, Dennis. 73's KS7FTI out.
And we are still looking for radio number 6 on the Old Tube Radio Network, or any and all check-ins, as we used to say.
Everybody's dropping out tonight.
Well, it's cold. I think it's a time when if the fireplace is going, that's where you're at, or maybe the hot tea or the hot cocoa is ready to go. And those of us who have our tubes glowing and our tube radios behind us are gathering around that to stay warm. Plus, I haven't looked outside. I can see, if I look through the window, there's a street light way over yonder, and I can tell it's got the clouds below it. So we're definitely in the midst of some Thule fog here. And let's see, before I go, X4000 is in. He's jumped over to the Echo Link link. You might recognize the voice of X4000 as our intro to the tube radios. Let me see if he is at the microphonium for a quick Echo Link check-in. KN6LW, KB6GFD, over.
Hello, radio. I've reinstalled Echo Link, and so I did not know if this was going to work, but here we are. Good evening to, and I turn down the other audio source so I don't get a feedback. Okay. Greetings to the OTR audience. And, hi, Dennis. Haven't seen you in a while. Oh, look, there's meters now. That's very nice. Don't have much to say. It's kind of weird and foggy up here in my corner of the bay, and I understand you have the traditional Thule fog happening down there. It's been a while since I've seen it. I don't know if it's a 1-dot fog or a 2-dot fog or how many dots on the road you can see when you're trying to drive down the road. But that's always the fun part of winter in Fresno. And, I'll sign it back over to you. I can't say something.
All right, very good. All right, thanks. Thanks for jumping in. And yeah, I guess we're having a big fog thing. The whole Central Valley reported fog up in Sacramento, and is down probably Bakersfield. It came in early, so good stuff. Boy, great quality audio on the Echo Link. So whatever you did, it sounds good. And good to see that you are back, at least radioactive that way. All right, we've got a few minutes for counting and mounting and some radios, and we'll get back to that. And probably the meters are, I don't know how much of a delay you've got, but they might not wiggle the right way, but they're on there. 73 to you. Thanks for jumping in. KB6G. Counting and mounting here at the Old Tube Radio Network, and looking for radio number 6 if it's around. Back in a moment. And it's nice to see that the wait on the Echolink link is no longer 23 skidoo minutes. Maybe it's those skidoo minutes that help out.
You know, that's good to hear. A couple weekends ago, I tried to check in on Echolink, and of course it didn't work out, but whenever you get the chance, we got a direct one from the radio lounge in the AM mode.
All right, a taker for Radio 6. I was sitting here counting and mounting, and I have to find the proper list to put you in at 9:57, and a radio check-in, which is why I'm sitting in this chair. Go ahead, over.
Well, I got to say, as convenient as Echolink is, boy, these old tube radios are much more pleasurable to operate, which I'm doing right now on a Robin T123.
The T123. It is. If the Magic Eye is sort of green, and I think it is a green radio as well. Let's put it up in the queue. And do I have audio? All right, make sure I've got some audio here. And okay, that we've got the for those who are doing the video thing, we've got the video. If not, we're looking at a very cool green radio with the Magic Eye in the front. These are the vertical bars that come together as you get closer to 100% modulation. The green channel selector, the S-meter off to the left-hand side, a very nice front throw speaker, and as they used to say, 23 channels, no waiting. Take another transmission. The Robin sounds good for Radio 6.
Oh, good. Yeah, this it was the first radio in my collection, and it was the Magic Eye tube that drew me to it. Which tube is this? The 6 or E13, I believe. Just like you said, it's a kind of a vertically mounted Magic Eye tube. You yap into it right now, and a bar illuminates from the top towards the center and the bottom towards the center, and kind of closes in. The more you open your mouth, the more it closes, and it's definitely quite active with the amplified D104 mic that I'm using right now.
That is a good choice, and we're kind of finding tonight that when you have good audio in a set, the microphonium does make a difference. 1, to match your voice, 2, to match what the radio is passing, and 3, as an impedance matching device. Especially for the older radios, getting the right impedance microphone to match and get the quality through. So that is a good match for that. If you are a soft speaker, as it were, a range boost on the set or amplification on the microphonium helps. If you've got a radio like Chris does with the Super MC11A where you really don't have to talk loud, you just make sure you have the proper microphone placement and away you go. As always, it is a pleasure to hear the Robin T123. There are fans. We have fans of the Robin radios. So take another transmission, make the magic eye wink and blink, and thanks for radio number 6.
Oh, yeah. Well, thanks for letting me check it in. I will just make 2 comments. Number 1, everyone sounds great on this particular radio. This does not have the original speaker that came with it. SWO20 could probably elaborate a little bit more on the story, but I believe a cat had something to do with the demise of the speaker. I don't know what to say more than a cat backed up to it and apparently decided to relieve itself on this particular radio. And as disgusting as that does sound, the speaker was a fatality, but it got replaced, and thank God, and genuinely, this radio smells really good. Just a vacuum tube radio, not cat pee. But the other thing was, I'm glad you made that comment about it. It's just kind of working right now. I caught myself speaking pretty softly, and I've always appreciated this radio, especially late at night. Just because of the way it's set up and the amplified mic, you don't have to scream into it like my other Robin. So there it is. The Magic Eye Tube is definitely telling me I'm doing my job, and I think I'll add a third comment, or at least a question in on that. I've been curious during the past few weeks. You said that if I stay keyed up long enough, something undesirable happens to my audio. I'm just curious if anything has changed in a bad direction since I've been keyed up.
No. So maybe that was what do they call it? An OTO, one time only event, because it's been perfect and sounds great. Over.
Okay, good. Well, if you had not have said that, I was going to reach for the Windex and start just spraying everything down, as Windex seems to solve everything. But I think you've saved this radio from that particular treatment. So thanks for letting me check it in. It's great, smells great, looks great, and there's nothing in life like a Magic Eye Tube. So, as always, thanks, sir.
All right, and thank you. Yeah, a little Windex here, a little WD-40 there, and life is good. Radio number 6, the Robin T123 from, I want to say, prior to 1972, 11 tubes, 2 transistors probably to run the DC to DC conversion, which it does, 12-volt DC, 115-volt AC. You can find out more about it on Sam's, if you've got a Sam's Photofax book 35, page 95, or hear it here on Saturday evenings at your favorite Saturday night place to be. Counting and Amounting, the Old Tube Radio Network is, are the Jingle Singers are ready to do what they do best. Here we go.
You're tuned to
OTR, Channel 11,
right here in
Fresno, California.
Stay with us
Old Tube Radio.
and be modern.
As modern as you can be, and Dwayne, you gave me a laugh saying when you were fortunate enough to be in California. Yeah, if you were an hour and a half away or so, might have caught you on one of the 2-meter repeaters up here in the valley. We've got some very nice hills where they put repeaters and get some pretty good coverage up and down the valley. So I might have caught you on a 2-meter link. And Mike, if you're listening, one of our SWLs mentions that if you hook that radio up backwards, the speaker says, "I buried Paul." So maybe there are some unsolved mysteries. Counting and Amounting on the Old Tube Radio Network.
Yeah, that's kind of scary.
60.
Hey, we need a Radio 7 before we get out of here. And and Joe is going to fill the bill. Let me fill out the paperwork. You know, there's always paperwork involved when you do something good. All right, I think I'm ready. Mr. Hustler, take a transmission.
Thank you much, here, Dennis. Doggone it, we had a little going with this radio here. This is my Hustler base. Doggone it, we got a bit confused there on the switches. Am I transmitting?
You are transmitting over.
Okay, I think we've got everything pretty much settled already. I think I got everything in the right place there. Yes, this one from World Radio Labs, my Hustler base. Doggone it, like I said, we had a few problems with it. I was messing with that crystal tuning device that it has on it, and I got a little bit scared there for a minute there. I thought maybe I might have had blown the radio out.
Oh, yes, I hate those little, heart-stopping shockers like that, but it sounds good. It sounds as good as it always does.
Oh, great. Hey, okay, well, I know it's late there, and if I can, I'd like to check in one more, if I can.
You can do. I'm entering this one as Radio 7, and we will even though I'm showing the wrong radio here, I think I lost my Hustler picture. I will have to find it. So let me just get rid of that picture or that radio altogether. Maybe I can do that. No, I can do that. Yeah, there we go. And I'm ready for Radio 8. I think you've got it.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, I had a computer crashy thing going on earlier, and I think it dumped some of my photos. But they're around somewhere. I just have to find it.
Well, Dennis, here's another one, a bit confusing. Genesis, I would like to check in my Johnson Messenger, 223. I just ran into a problem there for a minute there. Doggone it, I turned the squelch up, and I should have left it alone. That's only to turn the radio on, and I think I got it cranked up. Is it modulating?
It is modulating, ready to go. I believe you have the Johnson desk mic with that. I could be wrong. I've got one over my shoulder here, but it doesn't transmit, or at least I'm not transmitting on it, so we'll go with yours. Take a transmission.
Most definitely. Doggone it, we are excited about this microphone. I got lucky wiring it up myself, and doggone it, I've been happy with it ever since. I don't touch it for nobody's business. I kind of was confused with it at first there, because I tried to operate it like a Turner Plus 2, but this has no dials on it. Nothing fancy about this radio. Great module. Great light up in the front, and very simple to work. It'd be a go-to radio for me.
Indeed. I think we've got another go-to radio. That one is one of my favorites just because it does everything. Got the meter, all 23 channels, and it's a proven player, easy to work on, and I'm starting to be very impressed also with the Cobra Cam 88s as well. The radio we're looking at is the version without the modulation light, which I think is what you have, right? There's no mod light that comes out the front.
No mod light. Doggone it, it's somewhere in the radio. I've tried looking for it. Maybe it's got a dusty little bulb down there that needs to be cleaned. I would like to bring it up to know every now and then that it is modulating, because it doesn't have a whole lot of swing on the needle, but we know that it's transmitting because you're coming back to me.
No, it's doing quite well, transmitting across the Central Valley, and then I guess worldwide, beaconing over oldtubradio.net, the E.F. Johnson Messenger 223. Those who have the Johnsons, the white face, the black face, or the Messenger 2, and then the 223, basically they took the Messenger 2, turned it sideways, put it in the chassis, what did they do? They added an S meter and the rest of the 23 channels and a pretty cool speaker on it, and there you go. E.F. Johnson from 1969 to 1972 had a very, very good selling radio and a great talker. Give us another transmission. Thanks for Radio 8 tonight.
Thank you, Dennis, for letting me check this in, and I do appreciate it. I got one last one here. I'd like to fire it up. I think she's warm enough to do so. I appreciate you letting me check this one in. It's WL60 going to my Robin 123, the Bravo, the B 123B.
All right, standing by for that. I will flip the Rolodex from E over to R, and we will be ready on the Old Tube Radio Network.
Did someone say Robin T123B?
Yeah, I think a couple of the birds have landed here.
All right, I get a feeling that someone's going to be checking one in, but add one prior to that, the 123B from the Radio Lounge.
All right, radio number 9 at 10 to 12. We'll put in a Robin T123B. I noticed they kept the green color, and they even added more across the front and on the knobs. Before you go, let me get the better picture. Here we go. Take another transmission on the Robin T123B. Sans the Magic eye tube.
Okay, yeah, I'm not going to take any thunder away from the other gentleman that's trying to check in radio. But I will say, boy, this is almost like an eBay auction for an old tube radio. You know, nothing happens for days and days and days until the last minute. Then all the bids come in a wild fury. And that seems to be what's happening here with the tube radio check-ins. But there it is. And hopefully I bought him enough time to get that radio up and running. Although I would imagine it would take that much time due to the instant on feature on this particular radio, which you guys might talk about. But there it is.
All right, good deal. Radio number, what are you? Number 10. All right, we got into double digits, and we're still going strong. We've got three thumbs up. We've got 3 thumbs up for the Robins. Thanks for that. And you know what? I'm going to leave, just in Paperwork Reduction Act, I'm going to leave the picture. I've got another one. I'm going to put a different picture of the Robin, a different picture of a Robin T123B, and then we're going to call for Hello 60.
And then I'm at.
Okay, Dennis, doggone it. This is my Robin, my 123B. And it seems like it is transmitting. The little red eye is telling me that we're definitely on the transmit mark. I think she's warm enough. And this one here is 11 tubes, Dennis. It's 11 tubes. A little modified version has extra 10 channels in it, and everything seems to be working okay.
It's working A-OK. Let's see, I mentioned Mike was Radio 9 on the T123B, and you have taken us into the double-digit radios with your Robin T123B with the range boost. Robin got the front elevation, everything you could put on it from this chassis. I know some of the other ones didn't, but they must have paid extra. They got the external speaker light, the mod light, the PA light, the external speaker button, the PA button, the RX and TX lights, the range expand. So whoever did that said, "Hey, we'll pay you a little extra cash here, Panasonic. Let us be the ones to put everything on the front panel." Sounding good, Joe. Thanks for bringing it by. You got the triple play tonight.
Thank you, Dennis.
And there was, as we slowly move towards the door, yet another station, Radio 11, I think. Yes. Hello, Harvey.
Okay. This is me on number 20. Let me do this. Get it up here. There we go. On my squeaky, Browning R2708 receiver, 23S9 transmitter. Yeah, it's the week of signal.
of all the radios.
Well, it still has good audio. I know you did a little fancy footwork there to make the signal come up, but I could hear you either way.
Oh yeah. Where it's at, I can adjust it, but the radio itself, but I just haven't done it, so I use the modulator. Yeah, it only keys up at about 3 watts, swinging to about 5. All the others do a whole lot more. So that's why I call it the Wiki. Even the Browning Compact does more. Yeah. But anyway, I wanted to get the show to 11 tonight, so here's 11.
All right, 11 is a good number, and what would you put the vintage on that? About 1961, or am I making it too new?
Late 61, but probably around 62 or so, with the 23-channel transmitter and the R2700A. The older one came out first, the R2700 and the S9. I think that was 5960. And the compact came out in 6061 transmitter. It was the lower price transmitter. First transmitter was the S9. That's what the paperwork says.
Good deal. I've got a advertisement here. I was hoping to have a date on it, but it doesn't. But if it's bound to be the best, it's a Browning. They got the Browning Drake Mobile, and then the greatest pair on the air, the 2700A. The 23S9 brings all-channel operation to your base station as a standing wave indicator. Wait a minute, that has an SWR meter?
Roger. SWR meter, adjustable from the front. My modulation meter's not that good. Well, oh wait, where's it at? Yeah, it's on modulation. Yeah, 3-position switch. Modulation, forward power, reflective power, and a spot switch. And the SWR meter forward adjust is just to the right of the mic button. Hello?
All right, very good. Radio 11, the 23S9 from Browning. Yeah, it says also available, the famous S9 and compact transmitters on 23700A. For detailed information, send for free copy of full-color catalog, Browning Laboratories Incorporated, Apartment H100, Union Avenue, Laconia, New Hampshire. And I'll say this before you go, Harvey, be careful to not rupture your planetary ball drive on the R2700A.
Okay.
All right, very good. Anybody else? Thanks. Anybody else for the Old Tube Radio Network tonight? Over. Yeah, they're all wanting to. They're rating the cupcakes. I may not get my cupcake tonight. All right, let's. They're stepping up, and as SWL81 would say, totals. Here we go.
Let's do some
spelling. Oh, that's not the totals.
OTR.
We'll do some spelling.
27.085 megahertz. Channel 11, Old Tube Radio. Old Tube Radio.
They did that. They did that just on purpose. I'm coming in a different way tonight. They sound different, but they look just the same. You are listening to the Old Tube Radio Network. We're getting out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen, time now for the current OTR totals.
This will be the current and final totals for SWLs and radios. I'm looking at my numbers here. 71 tonight, 71 check-ins on the SWL side. This is the 8th week on the roster, so we'll do a new 00, and I think I should have some spaces available on the finite limited list for those who would like to be there. But of course, again, You do not have to be on any list to participate in the Old Tube Radio Network. Even those who aren't on the list get checked in on the not check in list. All right, do I have some audio? Yes, I do. Let me go over to something that's better than me. And radios tonight, we had 11. And the most heard manufacturer, you know what? I had this all counted up and then things changed. We have 1, 2, 3 Brownings. And we have 1, 2, 3 Robins. So it appears to be a tie between the Brownings and the Robin radios tonight. Started off with the Cobra Cam 88 Green Arrow on the Cam 88. Sounding good. I'm going to do the replay. I'm going to listen to the replay on that. Full fidelity audio, good 100% plus asymmetrical modulation, and a daily driver. So we're hoping to hear that one more often. The Halocrafter CB17. Thanks, Paul, for bringing by a rare radio, the CB17. I'm not sure how many they made in 1965, but a clone of the CB3A, and sounding good. I love the Halocrafters logo. Radio number 3, Chris was on the General Radio Telephone Super MC11A. Radio 4 was Harvey on the Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSB. That's the new one. That's the one that took that took the quick route down. It got its kicks on Highway 66, but sounding really good. It's going to be a rival to the Golden Beagle if you're not careful. Harvey also brought by Radio 5 the Browning Golden Beagle R68 T68. Radio 6 was the Robin T123 from Mike. Thanks for that. With the Magic Eye, our One Magic Eye radio tonight. Radio number 7, Joe on the World Radio Lab Hustler. Globe and World Radio Lab, and Leo Meyerson making the pretty blue radio. Also stopped by with the Messenger 223. Thanks, Joe, for a pair of classic glow-in-the-dark items of interest. Mike came back with his Robin T123B, and then for Radio 9 and Not to Be Outdone, Joe brought his in as well to get our triple play on the Robins. And then the Browning 23S9 R2700A, back from 1961 or so. Is that really 60 years ago? Still looking good. We're here in the 21st century, the Old Tube Radio Network, hanging out here for 36 years, 37 years. We've been here a long time, and we enjoy it, and our tube radio operators make that possible. So thanks, everybody. And also, with the newfangled things that we do, it's nice to have our shortwave listeners and digital shortwave listeners joining us via the network here and on Facebook. And we enjoy your radios and stories as well. Thanks for joining in, and hopefully you will be doing, or you do something like this wherever you're at to get an on-the-air radio night. I know JGT does a great job with Old Radio Night. 73, everybody. We will talk to you next time. I'm going to have to check the pocket protector. It's getting... I don't even have room for the where's my greenie? For my little... what do they call this? We call it in the TV business, this is a tweaker. Now, you know, I don't know what you might think, but this is the greenie radio, and I'll put that in the pocket protector too. So now I feel like the nerd that I am. Good night, everybody. Have a great week. And thank you for the birthday wishes. I'm going to go have my cupcake. OTR is standing off.
Good show, Dennis.
Number 7, late check-in.
Hey, number 7. We will. I guess we talked long enough. I figured your pockets were going to be so full of coin that it was going to take you longer to get in the door. So we will make that 72 SWLs, and I'm finding page 1 to change the proxy check-in to a real X in the square over.
Oh, thank you. More like empty pockets tonight. Oh, well, thanks for the check-in.
Okay, empty pockets. You were tripping the light fantastic, but you weren't skipping through the door, so that's probably why.
Thanks, Dennis.
Good night, Dennis.
And who is it that says, good night, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are. And before we go, I haven't really seen what's going on the bands tonight, so how do I do that? I think we bring up a couple of controls here. Anybody on 75 meters? Any AM stations? Nothing. How can that possibly be? You'd think there'd be something going on somewhere. That's what happens when it gets cold. You know, there's other things to do in the Radio Shack. I don't even hear WWV. Maybe the antenna's not hooked up. That could be. That wouldn't be the first time. All right, anyway. 73 and good night from your Old Tube Radio Network.
Hey, Dennis?
This is the basic Dennis, over.
I sure hope your stock of Ovaltine is not on a cargo ship out by Long Beach.
Yeah, out there off of Signal Hill. I used to live down there. I'd have to drive a little bit to go up the hill and look down on the harbor and see all the ships. Well, I have a backup. I've got the Hershey's cocoa, and I can make it that way. It only takes 2 or 3 ingredients. Ovaltine's got a lot more ingredients. It's a little easier to make, but I'm set.
Well, if you run out, I've got a whole lot of chocolate candy left over from Halloween. You can melt it down and make your own.
You ever tried that? The melting chocolate to make it? It's kind of gets into this gelatinous, oily mass. It's not quite the same thing. I think it's the difference between baking and doing it right. All right, I'm losing my voice, so I'm getting out of here, but I will have some. I've got a chocolate cupcake, so maybe I'm just going to have a glass of milk.
Yeah.